So these first 4 problems on this homework assignment / notes should be review from last class. So you should be able to do all 4 of these. After you have done all 4 of them, go ahead and check your answer on the answer key. Okay. Now we should, if you are listening, you should have unpaused the video. You should be done with those first 4 problems. We're now going to look at these next 4 groups. So on the side here, I would like you to go ahead and write GCF equals 1 or variable only. Okay, I will be making sure that you write down what I write down or what I ask you to write down. So make sure you are doing that with me. And then we're going to look at number 5 here. On number 5, we're going to split this in half. And on the left-hand side of my 4-term polynomial, I'm going to look at my GCF from 2n to the third and 4n squared. And I'm going to take out 2n to the second power. And when I take out 2n to the second power and I divide that out, I'm going to get n plus 2. And then on my right side, this has a 1 in front of it. So what can I take out of 1n and 2? I can only take out a 1. So I'm dividing both of these by 1. So I'll have plus 1 times n plus 2. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and take out my common factor. Remember, I have 2 factors here, or I have 2 terms. And in those 2 terms, I have a common factor. And my common factor is this this n plus 2. So I'm going to take out, I'm going to take out this n plus 2. That is my common factor. And then I've got my leftovers on the outside. So this 2n squared plus 1 would go second. And that would be your final answer. Okay. So go ahead and do 6, 7, and 8. Once you are done with those, you can check your answer on the answer key on Schoology. And then on the very bottom of this page, here, I would like you to tell me what you are going to do for spring break. What are you most looking forward to for spring break next week? Okay, at this point, you should have unpaused, or you should have been done with problems 1 through 8, and now we should be on to problem numbers 9 through 18 on the back side. So on the back side here, problems 9 through 12 on the left-hand side, go ahead and give yourself a bracket there, and then I want you to label that the third term is negative on the side. Okay, so what that means is that every third term is going to be negative in these, and whenever there's a negative, I want you to write this up here on the top. Factor out a negative if the first term in group of 2 is negative. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at number 10 here. Again, that third term is negative, so we are going to have to factor out that negative on that third term. So if I split this in half, on the left-hand side, we're looking at our factor chart for 7 and 2, and those are actually going to be prime numbers we can only multiply by 1 in itself. So I can only take out a 1, but then how many variables can I take out? Well, I can take out my smallest exponent, so I'm taking out x squared. When I divide by 1x squared, I will get 7x minus 2 on that left side. On the right side, what can I take out of negative 42 and 12? Again, since this third term is negative, I'm taking out a negative. And then if we look at 42 and 12 on our factor chart, we should find that 6 is our GCF. So if I take out negative 6 and I divide that out, I get 7x minus 2. So again, here's my 2 terms. In my 2 terms, I do have a common factor. My common factor would be the 7x minus 2. So I'm going to bring out that common factor, 7x minus 2. And then I've got my leftovers, which is 1x squared minus 6. So that is your final answer. go ahead and give me a smiley face underneath this box so that I know you paid attention and listened to my video. And then after that, for 9 through 12, go ahead and finish those. Check your answers on Schoology. Again, these answers can be flip-flopped, that's okay. But your answers should be the same as what they got on Schoology. Again, always take out that third term, which is negative. Okay, so go ahead and pause this video and finish those other 3. Okay, so if you are listening to this, that means you are done with problems 1 through 12 at this point. So now on the left-hand side from 13 to 18, we're going to go ahead and block those off, and we're going to say factor out GCF first. Okay, so what that means is in all 6 of these problems, you are going to have to identify a GCF before you start factoring it by grouping, because there is a GCF that you can take out of all 4 terms. So what I want to see on your paper is GCF, and I want to see what the GCF is for every single one of those so that you know you are pulling that out first. Okay? We're going to look at number 15 together, and then you guys will complete the other 5 on your own. So if I look at number 15 here, split it in half. But before we actually do anything, I need to look at all these numbers. I need to look at 15, 60, 35, and 140 on our factor chart and see what can I take out of all 4 of those things. We can take out a 5. Now, if we look at our exponents, I've got 5, I've got 4, I've got 3, and I've got 2. So I can also actually take out x to the 2nd power as well. So I'm going to divide every single one of these by 5x squared to start. And when I do that, I get 5x squared times 3x squared plus 60 divided by 5, which is 12x to the 2nd. Remember, you're subtracting the exponents. Then I've got plus 7x plus 28. Okay, so now we're actually going to split this in half. This GCF is going to come down to the very end with our final answer. And now we're going to look at the left-hand side of this. So I'm going to take out my GCF. Oh, and I made a mistake. This should actually be to the 3rd power. Out of 3 and 12, I can take out a 3. And then I can also take out x squared from both of those. So I've got 3x squared times, when I divide, I should end up with x plus 4. And then on the right-hand side, when I take out my GCF of 7x and 28, I'm dividing by 7. And when I divide, I should get x plus 4. Okay, my common factor in both of these is this x plus 4, so I'm going to write that out first. I've got x plus 4, and then I've got my leftover stuff, which is 3x squared plus 7. Okay, but this right here is not our final answer because we took out that 5x squared at the top, so we've got to write that out here. So 5x squared times both of those binomials is your final answer. Okay, so you are going to go ahead and finish the rest of this worksheet. You will need to complete 13, 14, 16, 17, and 18 on your own. Make sure you are taking out your GCF first, so divide by your GCF on every single problem, or sorry, every single term before you actually split it up and factor it by grouping. Okay? And at the very bottom of this sheet here, I would like you to give me your best doodle. It doesn't have to be good, but just doodle me something. And if you have any questions, please reach out. Make sure you guys get this submitted before class on Friday because you will have a quiz.